children, today we shall begin your first poem, that is written in March by William Wordsworth. Before beginning the poem, let me ask you a question. Which is your favorite season? Some of you may say summer. Summer is a season we all love because it's a time we get to eat lots of watermelons, mangoes, fruits, ice creams. We can have juices. So some of you may like summer. A few others of you may like rainy season because you may get to play in the rain. Even as kids, we love to make paper boats and send it in the water. A few of you may like winter season, especially in areas where there is lot of snowfall. People enjoy the snowfall in winter season. Apart from that, most of them love to have a cup of hot tea or coffee. People like to warm themselves in winter. A few of you may say that you may like spring. Spring is a season when flowers will be in bloom, trees will be green, everywhere you find lots of greenery, and it's even the time for a number of festivals. So each one of you may have a different season as your favorite for a different reason. In Western countries, there are 4 seasons. In India, like how we have spring, summer, rainy and winter season. Similarly, in Western countries, we have spring season, we have summer, we have autumn and then we have winter. Among all the seasons, the season that is considered to be the most beautiful and the season that is loved by everybody is the season of spring. Spring refers to the season of the year between winter and summer. So when do we get spring season? Spring season comes after winter season and before summer season. It marks the end of winter season. Spring is certainly a time of happiness and joy. Most noteworthy in many cultures, spring celebrations occur with rites and festivals. So whenever spring season is there, spring season usually is there in the month of March and sometimes even the month of April. And in this season, we have a large number of festivals in India. Like you have Basanta Panchami, we have Baisakhi, we have Ugadi. So spring even is a time for celebration. Spring refers to the ideas of rebirth after winter season when all the leaves fall down from the trees. Spring is the time when the trees begin to grow back. So it even refers to the ideas of rebirth, renewal and regrowth. So spring is one of the most beautiful times of the year. It is the time of the year that has been appreciated by many poets. And one such poet who brings out the beauty of the season of spring is William Wordsworth. And that is the poem written in March is by one of English's most famous poets, William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth is one of the greatest nature poets in English literature. Most of its poems deal about the beauty of nature and the simplicity of human life. Like most of his poems, written in March also is a nature-centric poem. It tries to bring out the beauty of the changing seasons. This poem brings out the essence of nature as winter is taken over by spring. In this poem, the poet brings out the beauty in the change of nature. When winter ends and spring season starts, the changes that we find in nature, the beauty and simplicity of it is brought out vividly and beautifully in this poem by the poet. The poet William Wordsworth brings out the beauty of spring. Since spring season is there in the month of March, he says written in March. He brings out the beauty of the month of March in this poem written in March. So children, we shall first read the poem. The cock is crowing, the stream is flowing, the small birds twitter, the lake doth glitter. The green field sleeps in the sun, the oldest and the youngest are at work with the strongest. The cattle are grazing, their heads never raising. There are 40 feeding like one. Like an army defeated, the snow hath retreated, and now doth fare ill on the top of the bare hill. The ploughboy is whooping, Annan, Annan. There's joy in the mountains, there's life in the fountains. Small clouds are sailing, blue sky prevailing. The rain is over and gone. So this poem consists of 20 lines divided into 2 stanzas. Each stanza consists of 10 lines. So we shall now see the poem in detail. We shall now see the first 4 lines of the poem. The first 4 lines go like this. The cock is crowing, the stream is flowing, the small birds twitter, the lake doth glitter. The poet begins the poem with the line, the cock is crowing. Crowing means the sound that the cock makes is known as crowing. This sound heralds or starts the beginning of a new day. Then the poet says, the stream is flowing. Stream is a small narrow river. In Kannada, for stream we call it as Halla. Then the small birds twitter. The sound that the birds make, the sound that you are hearing, is known as the twitter of the small birds. The lake doth glitter. Doth means it's an old English form of the word do. Such words in English are known as archaic words. So glitter means shine. So when the sun rays fall on the lake, it appears as if the lake shines. So the poet here, through these 4 lines, describes the beauty of March season. He says, you can hear the cock crowing in the morning, heralding the new day. The stream continues to flow, which is a symbol of continuity. The birds twitter or the birds make noise, and the lake glitters in the sun rays. The green field sleeps in the sun. The oldest and the youngest are at work with the strongest. The poet says that the green fields appear to be sleeping in the warm sunny morning. The oldest and the youngest are working together along with the strongest. Here strongest people refers to the youth. So in the fields, the children, the elderly people along with the youth are working together in the fields. They are working with lots of concentration in the field. The cattle are grazing, their heads never raising. They are 40 feeding like one. So here the poet says that the cattle are grazing. Grazing means they are feeding on the grass. They are so engrossed in eating the grass that the cattle don't even put their heads up. It is as if they all have put their heads together down and they are feeding on the grass. They look like 40 feeding like one. Though they are 40, means not exactly 40, it means there are many cattle. But when you look from far, since they all are looking down and grazing, it looks like they are unitedly looking down and they are grazing. So here the poet says about one of the natural things that we see across in rural areas. He says that the cattle are grazing happily without even raising their heads. This appears like the saying 40 feeding like one. All their heads are bent and they are grazing in unison or in unity. Here, the poet observes that in springtime, the cock crows early at sunrise, heralding a new and beautiful day. Heralding means it symbolizes the beginning of or starts the beginning of a new day or welcomes the beginning of a new day. The streams nearby are flowing lazily. As it is green and colorful everywhere, the birds twitter happily, sitting on the lush green trees. The lake glitters in the sun rays. The green fields appear to be sleeping in the warm sunny morning. After the long winter, the people of the village are working in the fields. You can see the young and the old are working along with the strong people of the village. Means you can find people of all types working honestly in the field with lots of dedication. There itself you can even see the cattle are grazing happily without even raising their heads. This appears like the idiom 40 feeding like one. All their heads are bent and they are grazing in unison. From far away the poet says that we can see a herd of cattle. They may be 40 or it may be more. He just gives the number 40 to give us an imagination that there are many cows grazing over there. And when we look from far, we can see that all of them are together putting their heads down and are grazing the grass. Since some of the students had asked for an explanation in Kannada, I'll give a small description of this summary of the first stanza in Kannada also. ಈ ಪದ್ಯದ ಮೊದಲನೆಯ ಚರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಕವಿಯು ಮಾರ್ಚ್ ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವ ವಸಂತ ಋತುವಿನಲ್ಲಿರುವ ನಿಸರ್ಗ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯ ಸೌಂದರ್ಯತೆಯನ್ನು ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿ ವರ್ಣಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ಪದ್ಯದ ಮೊದಲನೆಯ ಚರಣವು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಣ್ಮುಂದೆ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯ ಚಿತ್ರವನ್ನು ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತಪಡಿಸುತ್ತದೆ. ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಣ್ಣ ವಸ್ತುವನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಣ್ಣ ಮುಂದೆ ಪ್ರಕಟವಾಗುವಂತೆ ಕವಿಯು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಶ್ಲೇಷಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೂರ್ಯೋದಯವನ್ನು ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸುವ ಕೋಳಿಯ ಕೂಗು ದಿನವನ್ನು ಆರಂಭಗೊಳಿಸುತ್ತದೆ. ಸೂರ್ಯನ ಕಿರಣಗಳು ಸರೋವರದ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದು ನೀರು ಹೊಳೆಯುತ್ತಿರುವುದನ್ನು ಕವಿಯು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಂಬಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಳ್ಳವು ಹರಿಯುತ್ತಿರುವುದು ಮತ್ತು ಹಸಿರಿನಿಂದ ಕೂಡಿದ ಹುಲ್ಲುಗಾವಲು ಸೂರ್ಯನ ಕಿರಣಗಳಿಂದ ನಿದ್ದೆಗೆ ಜಾರಿದಂತಿವೆ ಎಂದು ಕವಿಯು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯ ಸೌಂದರ್ಯತೆಯನ್ನು ವರ್ಣಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಚ್ಚು ಹಸಿರು ಗಿಡಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹಕ್ಕಿಗಳ ಚಿಲಿಪಿಲಿಯನ್ನು ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. ಚಳಿಗಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚ ಕೆಲಸವಿಲ್ಲದೆ ವಸಂತ ಋತುವಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಲಗದ್ದೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಚಿಕ್ಕವರು ದೊಡ್ಡವರು ಹಾಗೂ ಯುವಕರು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸೇರಿ ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಶ್ರಮಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ದೃಶ್ಯವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣಬಹುದು. ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಹತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿಯೇ ಅನೇಕ ಹಸುಗಳು ಹುಲ್ಲನ್ನು ಮೇಯುತ್ತಿವೆ. ಅವು ತಮ್ಮ ತಲೆಯನ್ನು ಕೆಳಗೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಮೇಯುತ್ತಿವೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಅವು 40 ಹಸು ಇದ್ದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಗ್ಗಟ್ಟನ್ನು ಕಾಣಬಹುದು. ಅವು ಅನೇಕವಿದ್ದರೂ ಜೊತೆಯಾಗಿ ತಲೆ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಹುಲ್ಲನ್ನು ಮೇಯುವಾಗ ದೂರಿನಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಒಂದೇ ಎಂಬ ಭಾವ ಮೂಡುತ್ತದೆ. We shall now see the second stanza. In the first stanza, we have seen that the poet has described the everyday things that take place in nature, like the cock crowing, the lakes glittering, the streams flowing, people working hard in the fields, and everything. In the second stanza, the poet speaks about the change that we find in nature. He says, like an army defeated, the snow hath retreated, and now doth fare ill on the top of the bare hill. We all know, children, that winter season comes after spring. In winter, this is how a mountain looks like. It is filled with snow. The entire mountain is covered with snow. But when winter goes and spring comes, the same mountain becomes like this. The snow melts and the mountain becomes bare. We find a few patches of snow here and there. The poet here compares the winter season to that of an army defeated. In a battlefield, when an army is defeated, it retreats. Retreats means ಯುದ್ಧದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೋತಾಗ ಹಿಮ್ಮೆಟ್ಟುವುದಕ್ಕೆ retreat ಅಂತಾರೆ. So in a battle, when an army is defeated, it goes back. Similarly, when spring comes, the snow melts and it goes away. So the poet here has compared the snow to that of a defeated army. An army, when it is defeated, how it goes back. In the same way, when spring comes, the snow melts and it goes back. Now, without the snow, the hill is bare and open to change. And now that fare ill on the top of the bare hill. Bare means uncovered or empty. Baridada bettagalu, as we say. So the poet says that now without the snow, the mountain is bare, it is empty, and it is open for change. The bare hills in no time will be covered in green, and flowers in no time will begin to appear as the springtime comes. As spring comes, the bare mountains that are there will slowly change and will become filled with trees and flowers. This shows or signifies the change in nature from winter to spring. In winter, the mountain was only filled with snow. But when spring comes, it is filled with greenery and flowers. ಈ ಎರಡನೆಯ ಚರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಕವಿಯು ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣುವ ಬದಲಾವಣೆಯನ್ನು ಚಿತ್ರೀಕರಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಚಳಿಗಾಲ ಮುಗಿದ ನಂತರ ವಸಂತಕಾಲ ಬರುತ್ತದೆ. ಚಳಿಗಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಟ್ಟಗಳು ಹಿಮದಿಂದ ಮುಚ್ಚಿರುತ್ತವೆ. ಆದರೆ ಚಳಿಗಾಲ ಮುಗಿದ ನಂತರ ಹಿಮವು ಕರಗಿ ಬೆಟ್ಟಗಳು ಬರಿದಾಗುತ್ತವೆ. ಈ ಬದಲಾವಣೆಯನ್ನು ಕವಿಯು ಯುದ್ಧದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೋತ ಸೇನೆಯು ಹಿಮ್ಮಟ್ಟುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಲಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹೇಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸೇನೆಯು ಸೋತ ನಂತರ ಹಿಮ್ಮಟ್ಟುತ್ತದೆ, ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಮವು ವಸಂತ ಋತು ಬಂದಾಗ ಕರಗಿ ಹಿಮ್ಮಟ್ಟುತ್ತದೆ ಅಥವಾ ಹಿಂಜರಿಯುತ್ತದೆ. ಹಿಮವಿಲ್ಲದ ಬೆಟ್ಟಗಳು ಬರಿದಾಗಿ ಅವು ಬದಲಾವಣೆಗೆ ನಿರೀಕ್ಷಿಸುತ್ತವೆ. ವಸಂತಕಾಲ ಬಂದಾಗ ಬರಿದಾದ ಬೆಟ್ಟಗಳು ಹಚ್ಚು ಹಸಿರು ಗಿಡಮರಿಗಳಿಂದ ತುಂಬುತ್ತವೆ. ಎಲ್ಲೆಡೆ ಗಿಡಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಹೂಗಳನ್ನು ಕಾಣಬಹುದು. The ploughboy is whooping anon anon. There is joy in the mountains. There is life in the fountains. Small clouds are sailing. Blue sky prevailing. The rain is over and gone. The poet here continues to speak about the changes in nature and the happiness that is present in nature because of the change. He says, the plowboy is whooping anon anon. Plowboy means one who plows the field. In Kannada, you call them as Negila Uluvanu. So, the boy who is plowing the field is whooping. Whooping means it's a loud cry or joy of excitement. With lots of excitement. ಬಹಳ ಉತ್ಸಾಹದಿಂದ ಅವನು ನೇಗಿಲವನ್ನು ಉಳುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. So with lots of excitement he is whooping and he is talking to the cattle that is helping him to plow the field. And he is shouting soon, soon means he is telling the cattle to plow the field soon. It is a conversation between him and the cattle that is enabling him to plow the field. So this shows that even the plowman or the farmer, the plowboy or the farmer also is excited about the change in nature because it is a time for them to sow the seeds and reap a rich harvest. Then there is joy in the mountains because the mountain which was bare is now filled with green trees and beautiful flowers. So when we look at the mountains in spring, we find joy. There is joy in the mountains. Similarly, there is life in the fountains. In spring season, when we see the natural fountains in Kannada we call it as Karanji. So there is lot of life. The fountains are back to life. In spring, we can even see the clouds are sailing. We can see clouds sailing in the sky and there is blue sky prevailing. The sky is very clear. It is blue in color. It signifies that the sky is clear. The rain is over and gone. So the writer says that winter season is also gone and rainy season also is gone. And it is the time of spring which is a season of happiness and joy. It is a season which signifies beauty everywhere. So the poet through these lines brings us the excitement of the plowboy when he goes around plowing the field with the joy. The mountains and the fountains seem to come to life as spring takes on the winter season. The skies are blue and clear with small clouds moving around. The days of rain, winter and harsh time is over and what we find is beauty and greenery around. ಹೊಲದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದ ನೇಗಿಲ ಉಳುವನು ಉಲ್ಲಾಸ ಹಾಗೂ ಉತ್ಸಾಹದಿಂದ ನೇಗಿಲವನ್ನು ಉಳುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಆತನು ಉಲ್ಲಾಸದಿಂದ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಪರ್ವತ ಗಿಡಮರಗಳಿಂದ ಕೂಡಿರುವುದರಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂತೋಷ ಕಾಣಬಹುದು. ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯಲ್ಲಿನ ಕಾರಂಜಿಯೂ ಸಹಿತ ಖುಷಿಯಿಂದ ಕುಳಿದು ಕುಪ್ಪಳಿಸುತ್ತಿದೆ. ಆಕಾಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೋಡಗಳು ತೇಲುತ್ತಿವೆ. ನೀಲಿ ಬಣ್ಣದ ಆಕಾಶವು ನಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸನ್ನು ಆಕರ್ಷಿಸುತ್ತಿದೆ. ಮಳೆಗಾಲ ಮತ್ತು ಚಳಿಗಾಲ ಮುಗಿದು ವಸಂತ ಋತುವಿನ ಆಗಮನದಿಂದ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಂದರವಾದ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲೆಡೆ ಸಂತೋಷ, ಉತ್ಸಾಹ ಮತ್ತು ಹರ್ಷವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕಾಣಬಹುದು. We shall now once revise the summary of the second stanza. So whatever we have discussed so far, we'll once revise it or we'll once recapitulate it. In the second stanza, snow is compared to a defeated army as it retreats or goes back and the spring takes over the earth. Now, without the snow, the hill is bare and open to change. The bare hills will be covered in green and flowers in no time as the springtime begins. A plowboy is ecstatic with change in season as he goes around with joy. The mountains and the fountains seem to come to life as spring takes over the harsh winter. The skies are blue and clear with small clouds moving smoothly. The days of rain, winter and harsh times or difficult times are over. While the first stanza expresses the normalcy of the day, the second stanza gradually shows the changing times with the changing seasons, accounting nature's reaction to the positive change. So, in the first stanza, we have seen about the everyday things that take place in a normal day life. Whereas, in the second stanza, we see about the changes that occur in nature and how these changes that occur in nature bring about a positive change even in the life of human beings. So with this we complete the poem. The question answers and the grammar and the exercise part of this lesson will be discussed by Gangadhar sir in your next video. Hope you have understood the poem. In case if there are any difficulties and clarification, we will get it clarified when the school reopens. Till then, have a nice time. Stay home and stay safe.